What's up, guys? Here at Titan Nutrition today. Gonna get a quick workout in here at the HQ and then talk to you guys a little bit about some supplements. Hopefully tell you guys about some stuff that we got coming soon here. But I'm making up my making a mess what I'm doing. So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're going non-stim today. You guys already know this pump is absolutely ridiculous. So let's scoop that. This is our non-stim pump form, the Unrivaled pump. Orange is my favorite flavor. The cherry luau is really good too. But then some swole shot, a little bit of extra pump. Bang this down and then get my warm-ups in, and then we'll get started. I got back today, or not back, but pull, I guess. So I'll do a vertical pull, then I'll do 2 rows, a lat focused row and an upper back focused row, some rear delts, and I had these liquid IVs laying around the house. I need to use them up. So that's what normally I just throw a little bit of salt in here, a little bit of salt and some light salt normally, but had these laying around the house. I need to use them. But anyways, so I've got a vertical pull, so like close grip pull down, lat focused row, upper back focused row, some rear delt flies, and then some biceps. So should be a pretty good one. I've never trained here before. I came down just to see what was up, talk to Brian a little bit today, and so I'm gonna use their gym while I'm here. Pretty nice setup for, just a little office space gym, but let you guys see some of what's going on. So while I'm kind of letting my pre settle, make up my intra, I use the GlycoFeed, just the highly branched cyclic dextrin from Titan. I am in a little bit of a cleanup phase right now. So this is the second week. I don't know how long we'll run for, 8, 12 weeks, just kind of till we get the body fat down a little bit, clean up a little bit, and get in a good spot to start gaining again. My bloods looked really good at the end of the gain phase. Still pretty lean. Like I said, this is my second week. Even when I'm dieting, I like to use intra carbs, so you guys can see. Just got one big ass scoop of this, about 25 grams. And then I do about 10 grams of EAAs. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, remember, like, subscribe, show some support. My channel is not monetized, so the only way that you can support this channel is by supporting me directly or supporting the brands that support me. I do coaching, so I help busy, hardworking people supercharge their bodies and their mindsets. It's physique and lifestyle coaching to help you feel better, both mentally, physically, be healthier, and be the best version of yourself. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Give me a shout over on WhatsApp, and we will see about working together. Also, for all of your supplement needs, I work with a supplement company called Titan Nutrition. There's a discount code down in the description there. If you click that link, you'll get 20% off your order, and right now they're giving out free creatine with every order. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Remember, click the links, like, subscribe. Back to the video. And then, of course, you can't forget the like main supplement that actually works. There's no reason to take creatine intra-workout, but just whenever you can remember to take it, just take it every day. I just normally throw it in here because it's easy. And there's a ton of water in there, so it mixes up nice and easy with that stuff. So these are my main 2 ingredients. Got some intra-carbs, got my creatine, got my EAAs, but I don't have enough hands for that, so. Put it all in this freaking gigantic shaker. Mix her up, and then I'm gonna warm up and get going. I generally try to like auto-regulate all my volume. I've talked a little bit about this in the past. And so just based off of like how many reps I drop set to set, if I do 10 and I do 10 again, or like I do 9 the next set, I'll go ahead and add another set until I drop, 2 reps away from my first set, or drop the weight like 10% and get the same number of reps. So, I'm doing 200 pounds pull downs right here. So if I drop to 180 and, did 9 on that one, drop to 180, did 9 again, that's enough fatigue that I can, I can say I've pretty much got what I'm gonna get out of that movement. That movement feels really good. That's one. Back movements, it's tough. I normally tell people not just to go to crazy failure, but back movements is one that I really like to take to like almost total failure, just because I get so much harder in the shortened position than it is in the lengthened position. So if you're rowing, it's so much harder from here to here than it is from here to here. And that lat's doing a lot of work there, in that initial part. So I think you can get a lot more out of lengthened work on back than you can on, say something like chest or, tricep, something like that. I think back, there's a place. For it. I talked a little bit about it earlier, but I'm in a little bit of a cleanup phase right now. And so put Put the bulk on pause. Got up like 210, I think 209 and some change was my heaviest. This is 2 weeks. I've been cleaning up a little bit. Pulled calories down, cut carbs in half. Fat still about the same, still pretty low fat. Protein's the same, but 2,600 calories right now. Feeling really good. I'm down 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks, so I woke up just right over 200 today, like 200.2. So everything's going great. Energy's high, hunger's low, feeling really good. So if we can pull this off for the next 8-10 weeks, somewhere in there, be in a really good spot to start getting back to it. And then hopefully be seeing some new high body weights here soon. So now, just got rear delts and biceps left. Hey guys, I'm here with Brian from Titan Nutrition. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about some supplement stuff. So Brian, can you tell us kind of what got you into supplements and what, kind of how you got started and all of that?
Yeah. So originally, I grew up around supplements, around just gym stuff. So my dad, literally from the time I was born, my dad owned a gym called the Salina Weight Training Center. Back then, there was not supplements. This is like mid '80s and into the '90s. There was not supplements like they are today. Like there's no whey protein. The powdered protein was egg crystals. Then But it was all very rudimentary, a lot of Joe Weider stuff. But that was really kind of my first entrance into, like, supplements were never this novel thing. It was always something that was kind of in the house. We ate right, took supplements, worked out. So just always kind of a part of life, with my dad being not a competitive bodybuilder, but a bodybuilder. He was always, even, it was certainly not what it is today, but we had the bodybuilding magazines. Arnold was talked about around the dinner table. Like, that's just kind of how we grew up. And then with sports and stuff too, naturally I translated into working out really from what I can remember. My dad had my sister and I doing something in the gym.
That's really neat. Growing up that way, I think, is probably a huge, influence into being healthy and
easiest,
right. So, care to tell us, like, what your favorite supplements are from Titan, or just anything you've taken over the years that, like, these are my favorites? And
there's going to be very little I haven't taken. If I told you, like, my stack from Titan, I would bore you. I mean, it's not. My favorite supplement's probably Creax, the pre-workout. It's our flagship product, the first thing we ever made. You will not find, people can check me on this, you will not find a pre-workout more complete, more efficaciously dosed than Creax. I'm not saying that to brag. We do it on purpose so we can say that.
Right.
Because it's our flagship product, we want retailers to be able to carry it, to be able to turn over the bottle, have something in their store that they curate their shelves with that you can't find elsewhere. We put a lot of money, a lot of R&D goes into that, making sure that product stays, the gold standard in pre-workouts, complete pre-workouts. All that said, I work out in the evening, so I don't take Creax very often myself. My stack is more omegas. I make sure, I'm a 44-year-old dude. I want my heart to be healthy. I want my joints to feel good. I want to be able to run around with the kids. So we have a really high-end vitamin, omegas. I, of course, take our proteins. That's more as needed, right? To try to hit my protein needs. It's not something, most of the time I'm taking it post-workout. Creatine and HMB kind of rounds out my stack. We offer a whole lot of stuff. There's nothing I have not tried or don't take. Some of the funsies stuff, I'll take, I mentioned working out in the evening. For a long time, I took our pre-workout pump.
Yep.
And here lately, I've been switching over to the Swole Shot just for something different. The glycerol gives you an awesome pump. Thirst Plus, the electrolytes, I think, way underrated category, period. Especially for guys looking for a pump. One of the best ways to do it is carbs and electrolytes, not just pump ingredients, nitric oxide ingredients. But my core four would be our vitamin, omega, creatine, protein.
That is something you notice a lot with guys that are, like, actually dialed, is that, like, they're not taking that many supplements, because supplements are kind of supplemental. Yeah. Like, if you're eating a good diet and, like, plenty of, like, whole food protein and all of that, like, you don't need a ton. How much omega-3s do you take a day? Because I normally tell my clients, depending on what their goals are and where they're at, especially guys that are enhanced. I work with a couple of those guys, but 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 grams a day of combined EPA and DHA. Are you somewhere in there, or more or less, or kind of what's?
So I'll take of our capsules. They're 400 EPA, 300 DHA. We now have the new ones that are also DPA, which I'll let you describe to your audience. But I usually take 2 with breakfast, 2 with evening with dinner. So 4 capsules a day. You might not have to take that much, but like you mentioned, also with guys on gear, not something I have to worry about running a lot of gear these days, but it also acts as a good blood thinner, natural blood thinner, which is kind of a parallel there with your heart and circulatory health. But I think you're right in line there. If you're taking a couple grams, so if you were using as directed, you're taking the omega-3, you'd be getting 1,200 milligrams of the EPA, 900 milligrams of DHA, and then the new one's another 90 milligrams of DPA, which can convert to either.
Right. No, that is really neat. I'm really excited to talk a little bit about some of the health supplements we were talking about earlier that we've got coming out. So guys, Titan's coming out with a liposomal NAD plus and liposomal glutathione. And so if you guys have used glutathione in the past, orally it's not super bioavailable. So you either have to get a IV or inject it IM, which kind of sucks. We were talking about that earlier. I've been doing that for the last several weeks, and you either have to dilute it so much that you're pinning, 2 milliliters of the stuff a day, or it really stings whenever you inject it. So the liposomal formulas I'm really looking forward to coming out. And then you also mentioned the omega-3s with the high concentration of EPA, DHA, which are really what we're looking for in omega-3s. You go to Walmart and get your omega-3s, and it'll say 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, and it's like 200 milligrams combined of EPA and
Maybe
DHA.
in 3 capsules.
Yeah, and so that's what I've told these guys before, is that whenever you're buying an omega-3, whether it's from Titan, preferably from Titan with my code, but whether it's from Titan or from Thorne or any other good reputable supplier, check the EPA and DHA, because those are the numbers you're looking for. And so that's coming out as well. And then you'd mentioned, can we talk about the new vitamin?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you'd mentioned a new multivitamin as well. You want to tell us a little bit more about what's coming down the line there?
Yes, we'll have 2 versions of what we call our essentials, our vitamin. Eventually, you'll see a base, which is just kind of, hey, Justin, this is going to check the boxes. This is going to give you your micronutrients you need. Good levels of magnesium, zinc, things for hormone production, central nervous system health. And we in that one, this is big for me. I wanted to formulate these with CoQ10. We talked about that just for a little advanced heart health. CoQ10 is a nice one to have in your vitamin that you don't. CoQ10, and I always will put in that category too. CoQ10 is usually something, if you see it in a vitamin, it's like a tenth of a serving, right? Yeah. It's a tenth what you need is 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams. So you want a healthy dose of it. So both these vitamins we're coming out with, the base and the platinum, will have 100 milligrams of CoQ10. The platinum version, which is going to be a few months before you see that, that'll have actually a trademarked, licensed CoQ10, very high absorbing. And then the other one is high amounts of vitamin D. That's an easy one to put in vitamins. Oftentimes, if you want to get I'd say a minimum of 2,500. I even would like to see 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. Most of the time in people's supplement cabinet, you have to, if they're doing it right, you're seeing a separate vitamin D. We're going to do the math for you and just put it all in those vitamins, both in the base and then the platinum one is going to be all Albion, Trax, chelated minerals, like very high absorption. And then beyond just a vitamin, we're going to put the Humino LP20 to bump up your immune system. If you're working out, you're training hard, your immune system's going to take a hit each and every workout. We want to be able to bring you back, so there's some recovery factors there. The Spectra antioxidant blend, again, working out hard, you're going to be breaking down. There's going to be a lot of metabolic waste, so you want to have some good antioxidant health. So these I'm really excited for. People, kind of like the omega-3s, it's tough to get up and excited about a vitamin, an omega-3, like you would a pre-workout. There's no energizing feeling, but being able to before you can do anything else, just maximizing your overall health and outputs there, then you can get on to, I feel like then comes the fun stuff. Okay, I've checked all the boxes for my core health. Now what fun stuff can how amped up can I get before workout, all that? That always comes secondary to kind of checking the box of your macro and micronutrients.
Yeah, 100%. Having sufficient levels of magnesium, vitamin D, antioxidant support, that is going to do you way more good than 10 grams of L-citrulline, right, or 300 milligrams of caffeine before a workout.
Both really good, but you got to check the other boxes first.
Yeah, that's definitely more important. I was just talking about that with a guy the other day. As far as the health stuff goes, I'm really health conscious. Getting my blood work done, multiple times a year, but pretty much once a quarter. That, and then checking my blood pressure, blood sugar, all that stuff twice a week, and trying to keep everything really optimal. Not necessarily trying to be neurotic about it, but just keeping an eye on stuff, because if you want to grow or if you want to get lean, you need to be healthy, and health stuff doesn't just pop up, and so you can normally see it coming. And so I'm big into as far as supplements that I recommend people taking, it's a lot more health supplements, a lot less pre-workout or I'm big on intro workout just because I like it. Especially if somebody's trying to gain weight, like, you're going to be in the gym for hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. You probably ate your last meal an hour and a half before that. So, why not get 25, 50 grams of carbs in during the workout, especially if it's not going to upset your stomach, like the GlycoFeed from Titan. I use that even right now while I'm dieting. Like, I've got 25 grams of that intra.
I'm at 20
just
to 40, depending on the workout, 20 to 40 every workout.
Yep. And then if, like, in the off season when I'm trying to push food higher, and especially if I'm a little bit behind, I'll throw 50 in, and that with some EAAs and stuff is one of the big ones that I like to give. But is there anything else you want to talk about as far as supplements? Any other recommendations that you make?
I think one for me, like, I always tell people not everyone wants to count their macros, especially if you're just the general population. But I always tell people, like, get your protein. The majority of people who aren't counting, if you start, you're going to find you're vastly under eating protein. So my very simple recommendation: drink your water, measure your water, make sure you're getting your water in, and then if you count nothing else, count your protein. If you're a 180-pound guy and you start eating 180 grams of protein, all your other macros, I'm not going to guarantee they're going to fall in line. But if you're not counting and you start, number one, you're going to find out you're eating like 60 grams of protein. Number two, 180 grams of protein is going to seem like a mountain of food to eat. So you're going to eat less fat, you're going to eat less carbs, and that's kind of the first step to getting lean, like, for the most basic, like, titrate up from there. But the most basic place to start, that's where I'd be. Drink your water, get your protein.
Yeah, most general populace needs to eat less calories, more protein.
Right.
Is like,
but
just
as you increase the protein, the calories seem to come down.
It is.
Looking where you're getting those calories from.
And it is more satiating. I mean, besides, like, non-starchy vegetables, lean protein sources are basically, like, the most satiating thing you can eat. Like, how much, 97.3 ground turkey can you eat?
Right.
Or, like, how much chicken breast can you eat? Now, like, ribeye or something's a different story. Sure. Like, you put all the ribeye you want in front of me, I'm going to eat it. But as far as, like, supplements that I really recommend, you hit on a lot of it. I mean, Creax, I talk about Creax all the time because I generally work out in the morning, and so that first thing in the morning, intra carbs, Swole Shot, I almost always throw in, just because I don't know that the pump does anything. It seems like there's a little bit of evidence that glycerol might actually help to grow muscle, just pushing the fluid into the muscle cell. The cellular swelling might work for a hypertrophy signal, and so just kind of covering my bases there. Creatine's a big one that I recommend everybody take at least 5 grams a day, which if you're taking your Creax, there's 5 grams in there, so you're going to be covered. But I don't know if you've looked at any of the research as far as, like, the higher dosage, the 20, 25 for cognition. Have you experimented with that any at all, by the way?
So I've taken up to like 15 grams a day for periods of time. Here's the thing. More creatine is not always better. You mentioned the 5 grams. For most people, if you're taking 5 grams a day, at the end of 30 days, you're going to reach the saturation point. Now, you're not most people. Most, big guys who are working out every day, I always say, like, my recommendation for you, if you're under 200 pounds, slightly maybe, then take 10 grams on your workout days, take 5 grams before you work out, 5 grams after you work out, and then on your off days, take 5 grams. Bigger guy, I mean, it's kind of like how much protein you need. Well, how big are you? Like, your saturation point's different. The intracellular creatine circulation is going to be different, so you need to bump it up. But as a general rule, 5 to 10 grams. You want to say, hey, you want to make it simple. Like, if you're under 200 pounds, take 5 grams a day. If you're over 200 pounds, take 10 grams a day. But you mentioned, like, if everything else in line, if you're eating a lot of red meat, there's about 2 grams of protein per pound of red meat. So all that being a factor, I think it's almost like it doesn't matter when you take it so much. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you're taking it daily more than, am I taking enough? Take 5 grams a day. If you can remember that, you're kind of covered with creatine. If you want to really split hairs, and you have these guys, and you're probably one of them, like, well, I want to get the most out of it. Okay, you do cardio when you get up in the morning, take 5 grams with electrolytes, because electrolytes, water follows sodium, so that's going to help drive that into your muscle cell. The next best time to take it, if you want to get into creatine timing, would be immediately following a workout, again with salts and carbohydrates, because that carbohydrates, that's going to be a catalyst to drive blood sugars and whatever else is in your system into the muscle cell. It's depleted. So if you have those sugars and you're refilling with carbohydrates, you're going to pull all the other good stuff, your amino acids, your creatine stuff in there. So if you want to split hairs, take it with electrolytes in the morning, take it post-workout with carbohydrates and electrolytes.
That's really funny you mentioned that, because that's like exactly what I do. Because I get the 5 grams from Creex that I take on my training days, and then I'll normally throw 5 grams in my intra workout, which is carbs and electrolytes and EAAs. And so, days that I'm training, I'm taking 10 grams. Days that I'm just doing cardio, I don't use intra for cardio because I'm trying to oxidize fat, not so much glucose. But even then, I'm still doing electrolytes and creatine just in whatever I'm going to drink while I'm doing my cardio. And so, that's. I haven't really experimented with anything more than that. I know there's a little bit of research that shows if you're sleep deprived, you could benefit from 20 grams. I haven't tried that. I try not to be sleep deprived either, though. And so, that's another big one. Speaking of that, my favorite supplement from Titan, we actually mentioned it earlier, is the sleep supplement. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it, the Titan sleep supplement, it's got 600 milligrams of magnesium from magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha KSM 66. What else we have in there? L-theanine.
Theanine, lemon balm is really good for relaxation.
That's what I was forgetting, lemon balm. And so, I take that in the evening, just right after my last meal. So it's about 3 hours before I go to bed, generally, or 2. I take that with a glucose disposal agent right after my last meal, and then that lets me wind down in the evening. There's nothing in it that's like a sedative, though, which is what's really nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of down regulates you, lets you chill out. Normally all my work's done at that point. I don't have any reason to really be dialed in. Lets me, and I run pretty hot anyways, so to speak. If I don't actively try to relax, I'll just be go until time to go to bed. And so taking that right around dinner time kind of tells me, hey, time to start chilling out, put the blue light blocker glasses on, start getting ready for that sleep cycle. And so that kind of helps a lot there. What I was getting at, though, is I like that there's not a high dose of melatonin or anything like that in there that will put you to sleep. Mm-hmm. So, you have anything to add there?
No, you mentioned melatonin's great for some people. Melatonin's really good at putting you to sleep. People metabolize it at different rates, so a lot of people will wake up, and the answer usually is to just take more melatonin. But if you can get to sleep without it, probably better off.
Another one that I've experimented with a little bit, and I've had a couple of clients that had the exact thing that you mentioned there. They take the melatonin, 3 hours later they wake up. Like clockwork. Every night, 3 hours after they go to bed, if they take melatonin, they're waking up. And 5-HTP with the melatonin, because what's probably happening is you're not converting the serotonin into melatonin. Because you've already taken it exogenously. And so if you need the melatonin to help you get to sleep, probably take some 5-HTP with that to keep converting the serotonin to melatonin. That's something I can't say that I came up with that. That's a Dr. Dean thing. Okay. But I've seen with success myself and with other people. And another one is, like you mentioned, just take melatonin. If you wake up to go to the bathroom or something in the middle of the night, you've got 4 minutes or something to get back to sleep before your cortisol rises. And then if you turn the lights on, it's a whole, your cortisol is going to go up and stuff anyways. And so some instant release melatonin is something good to add in there. If that's something I like to do is, I keep a a bottle of instant release melatonin on the bathroom counter, and so if I wake up,
Dropper or something.
yeah, actually it was just tablets like sublingual.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And you'd laugh. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, like to use the restroom or something, and so I get up, go to the restroom, come back, and I'm coming by the sink. I'll grab one of those, just drop it through the little hole in the CPAP mask, and it goes underneath the tongue, and I'm like back to sleep before my head hits the pillow.
Yeah.
But
I had some spray melatonin. I would put it by there. If I woke up, I would take it again because it just didn't last very long for me. I was always waking up.
yeah. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to add?
No, if you have any questions, I'm over here. Just come up again, though. Come up again, do get some workouts in, and come talk shop.
Yep. I love it. Well, Brian, if there was one thing that you wanted to tell the internet, all 10, 15 people that are going to see this, if there was one message that you really just wanted to get out to everybody, what would it be?
Move. Like, if you want to feel better, like really tough to have it, really tough to be not feeling well. If you get up, you drink water, and you move for 20 minutes, if everyone did that, be a whole lot of healthier, happier people out there.
There you go. You heard it here. Not trying to sell you supplements, not trying to sell you anything fancy.
I'm trying to
get
sell
up.
you supplements.
I am too. I am too, to be honest. And like I always say, links down in the description, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And you can find me over on Instagram. All my links are down in the description. Head over to Titan. Get yourself some supplements. Code TitanJPC for 20% off. Go find Brian over on Instagram. Give him a follow. Keep up with what's going on over there. Always tons of fun new products coming out. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.